is the step 4. So in this training, I'm going to be teaching you how to import and edit the home page from your template kit that we just installed. So to do that, let's go to our WordPress. Alright, on your WordPress, go to pages. So we're already on our page. So on home, right click on edit, right click, open a new tab. Okay, edit with Elementor, click on edit with Elementor. Okay, just give it some time to load up. So I want you guys to pay very good attention because we're about going to something that is more practical, right? So just give it some time, just 2 to 5 minutes to load up. Just exercise some patience. Oh, it has loaded up. So I don't want all of this marketing sites, all of this home. I just need a plain site when I can do my editing. So just go to setting, go back to setting. On your setting, click on Elementor Canva. You can see it, Elementor Canva, click on it. Okay, so we now have a plain space where we can do our editing. So go to Envato Element, right? Envato Element, click on it. This green one, click on it. Alright, it will bring us back to this template kit that we installed. So click on View Template Kit. Okay, so this is our template kit. So all we need to do is to import and edit. So which one are we importing? We are importing this home page, right? So let's click on Insert Templates. Let's insert this our home, right? Click on it. And import. Just give it some few time to import. Our template kit has been installed. Okay, our template kit has been installed, but you can see, so all you need to do is to start editing. Let me make it. You see, this is our template kit. All you need to do is to start editing one by one, page by page. You know, just, but I don't kind of like the appearance, right? So there is something I want to show you. Let me show you something. So let me go back. Let me go back to that our template kit. I want to show you something. Let me go back. Right? Let me go back. Let me go back. I want to show you something. View template. View template. So I want to insert this global kit. Right, this is the global kit that this template was originally designed to work with, right? So without inserting this template, it might affect the appearance, the look of that particular template. So all you need to do is to click on Insert Template, right? Alright, our template kit. So our global kit has been installed. So let's take a look at it again. So I think the look is much better. If you can take a very good notice, the look is much more better, right? So all you have to do is to start editing. So that is one of the advantage of this Elementor. It allows you to edit by drag and drop. So this image, you can decide to remove it. You understand? If you click on it, you go to image, you choose image. You understand? Then in case you have any image on your laptop that you would love to use, you can remove it. So all this text, this one is text, you can remove it, you can retype it. You understand? So that is it. So all these things you can remove all of them. You can add your own. So if there is any thing that you don't like, you can remove it. Like for instance, I want to remove this session, like this particular session. So all you need is to click on this delete inner session. You can see it, this S sign, you can delete it. So there is one method I want to teach you on how to actually edit Elementor. In Elementor there is something we call session, right? There is something we call session, column and elements. These are the three main things that makes up your Elementor. When you are designing any website with Elementor, these are the three things you have to put into consideration, right? Like this whole, if you can notice, like this whole session, let me say this blue color, right? From all this, apart from here, this one is another session, this one is they are all session. All these places are session, right? These ones are session. So all these things you are seeing are all session. This particular one. So wide from here, if you can see, this one is column. This one is column. This one is column. You can see this one is column. This one is column. This one too. This one is column. This one is column. Right? Why the whole of this is a session. Right? So when you are editing your website using Elementor, you do it from, you might start with your session, then after editing everything with session, you go to row, you go to your column, then before you go to your element. The elements are all these, like this heading, this one is a heading, right? You say edit heading. These are the elements that you place in your column. Column is just like a box that accommodates your image, your text and all. So why the session is just the general session that contain your column and all the elements. So for the session, the main thing that we use session for, we use session to control height. We mostly use it for height control. You can use it to control the height of a particular session and the width of a particular session, right? So let me show you something. Let me edit session. So this is my session, right? So if I want to reduce the width of this session, all I need to do is to, can you see the changes? All I need to do is to come here and do the editing, right? You can choose the particular width that you want your session to be. So that is session for you, right? So that is how you can edit your session. Then also, if you want this height, maybe you don't want this particular height, then you go to your height, choose your, let me choose minimum height. Then you can control it. Just if I want this height to increase, I might increase it. If I want it to reduce, it all depends on you, on the kind of design you want, right? So that is session for you. Then you can decide to change the color of this session, right? So take notice of this layout, this style and this advanced. So if I want to change my color, right? If I want to change my color of this session, right? So I will just go to session, click on session, then you can see your background color. So I mostly like you leave it on classic. What do we mean by classic? If you leave it on classic, you only have one option, one color option, right? Then if you leave it on gradient, it will give you two as a kind of mixture of color, where you have the primary and the secondary color, right? It all depends on what you want to achieve. So let me leave it on classic. It's now on classic, right? So the classic color I have here is blue. The classic color I have here is blue. So I might decide to change this color into something else. I might decide to change it. You see, can you see the effects? I might decide to change it to any color that I prefer, right? I might decide to change it to any color that I prefer. Like I said, it all depends on what you want to achieve. I might leave it at this black. I might decide to change it. So that is how to do your editing. You can edit, then you can decide to add a background image. I'm on session now. All these ones I'm doing is under session, so I might, like this one, they don't have any background image, so I might decide to choose a background image. Like before now, you might have uploaded maybe any background image that you want to use on your website, right? So let me upload a background image. Let me show you something. Like from here, I don't have any picture on this particular website. So let me just use this media library, right? In case you have any picture on your website that you want to use, you can upload here. It says select files, you can upload it into your website. So let me just show you something. These are the media library that comes along with this website, right? That comes with this particular website. So let me this template, sorry, that you are designing. So let me select this one, this particular one. Then you can decide to give it any title or just leave it. So though it is very advisable to always give a title to your image. When you are inserting any image, always try to give it a title. It's very, very important. So select, just click on select. As you can see, I now have a background image, but this my background image is repeating. So I want to do something. Let me change this my background color to something else, right? Since I'm adding a background image, I want to change it into something else. Let me select white, right? Let me select white. Let me just select white. So you can, all these colors, they all have their colors, have their codes. So you can browse for any color code that you want to use for your website. Let me give you one tips in web design. When designing your website, always try to maintain a particular color and don't go beyond 2 to 3 colors, max 3 colors. So don't go beyond it to make your website to look more professional. Always be mindful of this color, right? So let me select this white color. Okay, I'm selecting white color. So this is my image. So this repeat, go to repeat, select no repeat, right? No repeat. So go to position. I want to position this image to center, right? Let me position it to center. Let me position it to center. Go to position. Let me choose center, right? And I have this image on my at the center, right? Or let me say center top. You can just play around it depending on what you want to achieve. It's as easy as that. So I have it on my center, it's already at the center position. So this display size, so what do you have, how do you want the size to be? So I want this image to cover up, right? So I want it to cover, so I choose cover. So I want the image to cover my background, right? Or you can decide to choose anything. Let me choose contain. Or okay, I think I like this contain. Let me leave it at contain, right? So another thing I want to also teach you again, so it's like this white is kind of too obvious, covering some of the text that we have. Let me change this color to something else. Okay, let me change it so that this color will be more visible. I don't want something that will cover some of this our text. Oh, no problem, just leave it like that. Okay, don't leave it at white, let's leave it at white position, right? So there's something I want to show you again. This attachment. Okay, go to background overlay, right? Go to background overlay, then click on classic, then select color, the color that you want to use for this background, your background image. So let me select black. Can you see? Let me select black. You see, this is the background overlay. At least we can now have our text is now more visible, right? So I'm going for black. Let me make it black. So the color code for black is 000 in 6th place, right? That is the color code for black. Then you can choose the opacity, how you want the code, how you want it to appear. So let me make it a little bit darker. You understand? Just be taking notice of all these things that I'm doing. So you don't need much. Just play around. Just be creative. Just be creative with what you are doing. Okay, I think I kind of like it like this. Can just leave it like this. Okay, just leave it like this. There is one thing I also want to show you. I don't know, you might have come across some website when you are scrolling, maybe you are scrolling up or down, a particular image will be static. So to do that, all you need to do, go to attachment. Let me show you something. I'm still on session. Like I said, when you are designing your website, always do it section, column and row, right? Section, column and element. So this background image that I want to make it fit, so I don't want it to be moving around. Let me place it at fit position, right? Can you see this? As this website is moving up, my background image is fit. Can you see? So that is how to achieve this effect. So if you do this kind of thing on your website, you see, that is how to achieve this particular effects. So there are a lot of things that you can actually do with Elementor. There are so much things to do with Elementor. So let's go to column. Let me edit this column. So under this column I have my image, right? So I might decide to increase the width of this my particular column, right? So by default, this my column is occupying 49.03%. So let me increase it so that you see the effect. Can you see? So let me bring it back. So I'm working on my column. So let me just leave it at 49, right? So this image, this one is a vertical align, so you can decide where you want to. Let me just place it at the top. Okay, let me select button. So you can just any position that you want it to align, so just leave it. Let me leave it at middle, right? So this is your widget space, how you want the space to appear, right? You can see the effect, right? So that is just it. You can decide to change this image also. You can decide to change the image. You can decide to change this the background of this column, right? I said we are designing on column. The default background here is kind of ash, something like that. Let me say I want to change it to red. You can see, so you can change the column to any color at all that you prefer, right? Let me decide to change it. Just change it to any color at all of your choice. You can decide to leave it at black also, right? I think just be creative, just be creative around it. So there are really lots of things that you can achieve with your Elementor. So let me leave it like this. Then go to image. So this image is under your elements, right? Like I said, we have the session, the column, and your elements. Hope you can see the one editing it. Then go to image. So under your image, you can choose your image size, how you want this image to look, the size of, you see it has reduced. Just like that, you can choose any size that you prefer for this particular image. You see, just be creative around it. Just be creative around it. You can select the position that you want the image to be, right? You can select the position that you want it to be. So like this image is centralized on this particular column. So that is just it. You can decide to change the image, or if you don't need the image, you can delete it. You see this delete button, you can delete it. So that is just it. That is just it. That is just it. You don't need to be wasting much time. Same with this, like this beta test of it, and you can decide to remove it, right? Just click on this particular element. This one is another column, right? This one is another column. So let me complete with this column. So this column is occupying, see these two column, this particular column, one is occupying 49, the other one is occupying 51 of this space, that is 100, right? So I might decide to reduce this column to 50 to make these two columns to be equal. So just like that, just be creative. So you can decide, okay, it's like this. There is an image here. This one is column. Which one is this? So anything you don't need, like this image, I can decide to remove it. I don't know what that image is doing there. Just click on delete. So it's gone, right? So it's as easy as that. There is another image here too. I might decide to remove it as well, right? There is another image here. Let me remove it. So just like that. So I might decide to change the color of this column. I might decide to change this particular column color to something else. You see, just like that. So just be creative. Just be creative. That is why you have this template. So it makes your work easier. It makes your work easier. So that is just it for this. Beta, you can decide. This one is beta, and this one is two different. The better and faster, right? So you can just put anything that you can edit it. You can edit it. So you can remove it from here. Better. You can just say better, reliable. You see, you can just add anything that you want. It's as easy as that. So for this particular image, you can style your this particular text. You can style it, and you can, the color is white, right? You can change the color. You can change the color to anything. You can change it to red. You can change it to any color that you prefer, right? So let me bring it back to white. So you can change it to any color of your choice. So typography, go to you can increase the size of this text. You see, I can increase, I can decrease, just like that. So that is it. So for the font, you can choose the font size. Like this must, right? You can decide to use any font of your choice, right? You can choose any font that you think is much better for you. You can decide to, just like when you are font in your Microsoft, and when you are dealing with a Microsoft and MS Word, you can select any font that you prefer. So that is just it. Where is that other font? So you can select any font at all that you want to use. But one thing I will advise, when you are selecting fonts for your website, always try to maintain a particular font, so don't mix your website with different fonts, right? Or at most you can just decide to use two, maybe one font for your headers and the other font for your maybe your paragraph. So always try to maintain your font, so that will help to make your website to look more professional, right? So the weight, I can decide to make it to be more light, you can see, so that is under weight. You can decide, you can make it to be more bold, just like that. So it's as easy as that. So same thing, you can apply same thing to other sessions, just the same way I do this, I did for this other session. Same way for all of this session, column and element, you can do it like that: session, column and element. So I have one important thing: immediately when you are done, or during the process of this design, always try to update, because if you didn't update, maybe anything happens to your system, or your system went off or anything, you might lose your work. So in order to avoid that, always click on update. So by the time you click on your update, then go back to the front end of your website and view. So you see now it has been updated, right? So just repeat the same thing for other parts of it, just like that. If you want to add any session, maybe if you want to edit another session, you go here in Vato, just the same way we imported this home page. You can select any page from that template kit that we installed. Just is as easy as that. So let's go back and view our website. So let me view this website, visit site. So let me refresh. All right, you can see our website is back. So this is the ones I just edited. You can see all the effects. So you don't need to be, so that is just how to edit, import your home page and edit it using the Elementor, right? So if you want to go back to the editing, you can click on, this is the admin page. The reason why you are seeing all this, because you are the admin, but if you view it on another browser, you won't be seeing all of this. You won't be seeing all of this customize, edit and all. So you can repeat this same process for all the other pages. In our next class, we are going to be discussing how to add and edit your header and footer, right? Your header and footer. That is what we are going to be discussing in the next class. All right, see you guys in the next class. Bye bye.